What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another exciting installment of the Blowfish Battle Network YouTube channel. That's right, you're here. Tonight, we have, per request of a follower, subscriber, follower on Tumblr, YouTube, and Twitter, in that order respectively, we have a short but sweet and hopefully with enough information to be useful breeding guide for competitive Pokemon. That's right, that's what we're going to be doing. The camera went blurry. That's new. We're gonna try to fix that. Well, we're gonna have to deal with that. It's a little blurry, but it's not so blurry that we can't see what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead. What we have right now is we are gonna be demonstrating how to breed just the basics. Please excuse the reflection of the light from the camera in the screen. I did not know it was there, but this guy right here, this little dude, this is the breeding guy you're gonna get your eggs from. And ultimately, what you want to do when you're breeding, you're going to have two Pokemon in the daycare center. I'm using the one in the Battle Resort because there's an infinite loop that you can just move your DS to do its stuff and walk away. I went to the wrong thing. I should have talked to this person. So, welcome to the daycare. We're happy to raise your Pokemon here. How can we help you today? Take back. I'm just going to show you what we have in here to start. We have a Ditto and a Froakie. Now, what this does is we're going to be breeding a Froakie to get our competitive ready Greninja. Now, to do this, actually let's take him back and I can show you exactly what's going down. Maybe. Yes, I would like to collect my other Pokemon now too. Yes, blah blah blah. Now, I've already gone to the IV checker with these two Pokemon, so please excuse me, I'll just show you how they are how they stack up with their IVs, and I'll explain the IV checker when we get there with the new Pokemon. But we have a Ditto, okay? We have our Ditto. Let me pull them up and give the summary before I show it on screen. Oh, alright. So this is our Ditto, right here. He knows transforms level 54. As you see down there, the markings, the circle, triangle, square, heart, star, and diamond, or rhombus rather if you prefer, those are your markings. There's 6 of them, and just so happens to be 6 different stats for Pokemon. Now, as you can imagine, they correlate very easily. Circle's HP, triangle is attack, square is defense, heart is special attack, star is special defense, and rhombus / diamond is speed. In that order. Now, as you can see, this Ditto is marked to have perfect IVs. IVs are the genetics of a Pokemon. They are the individual values or initial values, depending on who you talk to. And they're basically what the Pokemon is naturally built to do. This Ditto has stats that can't be beat. Quote the IV checker. That's what you want to hear. Can't be beat. That means they're as high as they can go. We'll get into that again when we get to the IV checker, but they're as high as they can go in HP, special defense, and speed. Now, the Froakie we're going to be breeding with only has IVs in HP and attack. Now, back to the Ditto. The Ditto, since he's got more IVs, we're going to want the Ditto to hold an item called the Destiny Knot. We're going to pretend I'm going to give the Ditto the Destiny Knot because I don't have the Destiny Knot in this game. I breed on X and Y. It's just simpler, and I Pokebank it over. That's just me. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. It's just me. So, enough of that. We're going to back out into... Uh-oh, what's that? My McAfee protection has expired. I don't care. I really don't. We're going to back off of this screen because it's just blank. And I'm going to center up the camera again, maybe. And alright, so now that we've seen the stats, blah 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 blah, we're going to talk back to the daycare person. This is how we're starting. We're going to leave a Pokemon, we're going to leave our Ditto and our Froakie because we're trying to breed the Froakie and the Ditto. Now, you can't see what I'm doing, but essentially, not even essentially, just all I'm doing is choosing the Pokemon to leave. It's pretty self-explanatory at this point. Now, what we're going to do is the Ditto is holding the Destiny Knot, and he's breeding with the Froakie. Now, the Destiny Knot is an item that allows up to 5 IVs to be passed down from the 2 parent Pokemon. Now, what that does is it creates a chain of sorts where you'll breed 2 Pokemon and you'll get an egg, and if luck is on your side, the Pokemon will have up to 5 of the same IVs that the mother and father Pokemon had. Now, we're breeding a Ditto with HP, Special Defense, and Speed, and we're breeding a Froakie with HP and Attack. So ideally, our baby Froakie is going to come out with HP, Attack, Special Defense, and Speed, because that's what the Destiny Knot will do. Now, that is not a guarantee. You may have to try it a couple times before you get the Pokemon with the 4 IVs. We're going to go ahead and jump on our bike, and this is our infinite loop. You get in that corner right there at the breeding center, and you just hold up. If you don't want to hold up, you can get a thin sheet of paper. Some people use a dime. I don't like a dime. I feel like it puts too much stress on the joystick. But either way, just hold up, and you'll keep hitting obstacles, and it will turn you, and you got to watch out for the sand. Well, you don't have to watch out for the sand. It's just annoying. But what you're going to do is you're going to ride around this infinite circle until you come back into the front, and hopefully, by now, you want to check the little kid outside the breeding center. When he turns around, oopsies, when he turns around, it means he has an egg ready for you. And when you get the egg, you can just hatch it, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Now, when we get the egg, I am going to go ahead and just jump. I'm not going to make you guys watch me run around in circles until we get the egg, or until the egg hatches, because it's going to take a long time. When you are breeding, I don't have one in my party, but what you want to do is you want to carry a Talonflame. Talonflame is best, in my opinion, because... Let me get out of that little window. Talonflame is best, in my opinion, because he has Flame Body ability, which cuts the time of hatching an egg in half. It decreases the amount of steps. And he also can learn Fly, so he can just go anywhere you want, anytime you want, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, not right, not wrong, just how I do it. Pretty commonplace, pretty accepted, good thing to do. Now I'm gonna explain to you a little more while we're waiting for this egg, how and why we do what we do with the Pokemon. Now, like I already said, the IVs are the individual stat's basic value, what the Pokemon was born for. Now, in the wild, you typically only catch a Pokemon with 1 or 2 IVs that are now, when I reference 1 or 2 IVs, obviously they have all 6 because they have stats. When I say they have 1 or 2 IVs, from henceforth, when I say an IV, I'm referring to a perfect IV of the value of 31. I don't know why they choose 31, but they did. I'm not the game designer, and I think I just passed the kid with the egg. Whatever. So, you can usually catch one in the wild that only's got 1 or 2 IVs. Now, that's going to be a process. If you're looking for high IV Pokemon, what you want to do is do it in X and Y and get in the Friend Safari. You can catch up to 4 IV Pokemon in the Friend Safari. In my experience, maybe you can catch higher. I don't know. It's rare. It takes a long time. We're going to take a break from what I was saying. We're going to get the egg right here. Oh, hey, we were raising your Pokemon. Something amazing happened. Somehow ended up holding an egg. I have no idea where it came from. It's a total mystery. You gotta want it, right? Yeah, I want that egg. Alright, now, we took the egg from the daycare lad, and I'm going to keep talking for just a second and explain IVs and EVs, and we're going to even touch on natures, and then we're going to cut until we get the egg about to hatch. So an IV is the genetics of Pokemon. You got to pass them down with the Destiny Knot. And once you get a Pokemon that has your IVs from the 2 parent Pokemon, so when we hatch this Froakie and it has HP, Attack, Special Defense, and Speed, then we're going to swap out the Froakie we hatched. We're going to take the parent Froakie out of the daycare, and we're going to put in the baby Froakie into the daycare. And what that is going to do is that's going to represent HP, Attack, Special Defense, and Speed with the Froakie, and I'm sorry, I lost my thought. And HP, Special Defense, and Speed with the Ditto. Now, that's an even better chance to pass down the ones we want. Now, here's where it gets tricky. You're going to need a couple Dittos that have a different spread of IVs, because obviously if we keep breeding 2 Pokemon that only have perfect IVs in HP, Attack, Special Defense rather, and Speed, it's going to be almost impossible to get that 5th IV. So you want to have a Ditto that can represent another stat as well that you'll switch out and give it the Destiny Knot. This all may seem a little daunting at first, a little overpowering, but trust me, it will become second nature before you even know what happened. You breed 2 or 3 Pokemon, do this 2 or 3 times, and it's completely natural. EVs are your effort values. Now those are very easy to do. You look at what the Pokemon base stats are. Like Garchomp is a physical attacker and he's fast. You have the choice of boosting 2 of your stats with EVs and just a little bit of a hair of a boost on a third. So on a Garchomp you would boost your attack EV and your speed EVs because those are already the highest. This is basic Pokemon competitive breeding. Of course, you have the freedom to boost whatever stat you want. If you want to boost his defenses with your EVs, fine, go for it. But that's a higher strategy level. If you just want basic breeding, that's just generally accepted how it's done. Now, you also want to pair your IVs, your EVs, with a nature. Now, natures are where it gets a little more complicated because natures aren't always guaranteed. The only way to guarantee a nature is to breed a Pokemon with the nature you want while holding an Everstone. I'm sorry, this is probably really boring watching me go in circles while I'm talking about breeding. Anyway, we're going to go back and forth here. Now, when you have an Everstone, it will guarantee you pass down the ability from whatever Pokemon, not ability, the nature. I'm so sorry. It'll pass down the nature from whatever Pokemon is holding the Everstone. So if you're breeding these Froakies and you want a Jolly nature, I would recommend breeding Froakies randomly until you get a Jolly Froakie. Give the Jolly Froakie an Everstone, and then start breeding for your IVs and EVs. Because if your luck is anything like me, you're not going to get your 5 IVs and the nature you want. It's going to take forever. So it's probably just best to do the nature first. Now, every natures are interesting. They're very special. Every nature will boost a specific stat and take away from another. You have a nature that does that for everything except HP, and there are 4 neutral natures that don't do anything. They don't boost anything, they don't harm anything. Now, it's great because there is a nature, Adamant. The Adamant nature is very popular. Back to the example of Garchomp. Adamant nature will boost your attack and subtract from your special attack. That's fantastic for a Garchomp because Garchomp's special attack isn't anywhere near as high as his physical attack, so you don't care. You're going to run a physical moveset on your Garchomp because he's a physical attacking Pokemon. Or you could run a nature that boosts his speed and takes away from his special attack. That way you could have a fast Garchomp paired with a choice a choice scarf. A scarf chomp is what they call it. It's fast Garchomp. Anyway, items are later. That's not really breeding. Any nature does anything. You've got natures that'll hinder you. And guys, girls, dogs, cats, snails, whoever you are watching this, a nature will make or break your entire team. One Pokemon with the wrong nature has the potential to just destroy your team and make it not worth anything. So natures are very, very important. Now, also at a special request that was also from the same person who was requested by the video, we want to touch on hidden abilities. Now, hidden abilities, as you may or may not know, are the abilities, obviously, that the Pokemon does not normally come with. Froakie, for instance, his main ability is Torrent, which powers up water-type moves in a pinch. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. That's what the ability is. He's a starter. That's what they do. Now, his hidden ability is what you want. His hidden ability is called Protean, and what that does, it takes your moveset, and say you use Dark Pulse. You've run in a Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Extra Sensory, and Rock Slide. Why not? Rock Slide is the first thing that came to my mind. Any move you use, it will change your typing of your Pokemon to the type of the move that you just used. So your Greninja, if you have a Protean ability Greninja and you use Ice Beam, before you move, it will change Greninja's ability to Ice. Or typing to Ice, I'm so sorry. That way, you get the same type attack bonus for every move in your move pool. That is a fantastic ability. But here's the problem. It's the hidden ability. How do you get the hidden ability? Well, the Dex Nav is a fantastic tool for getting the hidden ability. You have the search function on your Dex Nav once you've caught and obtained a Pokemon. Now, obviously, you can't catch a wild Froakie in Pokemon Oris because this is a 3rd generation remake game. Froakie didn't exist yet. Technically, you can Pokebank it over, but you're not going to catch it in the wild. So, we'll just use this example anyway. We'll pretend we can catch a Froakie. We're wandering around in the ocean right here. We'll pretend we can catch a Froakie and blah, 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 blah. So you're going to use your dex nav to chain it, and it to my knowledge, for hidden abilities, it doesn't matter if you break the chain or whatever, but you have a search level up in the upper right corner, and the higher number your search level is, which equates to the however many times you've searched for that Pokemon and encountered it, you have higher odds of getting a shiny, a Pokemon with good stats, which is also a great way to get high IV Pokemon, is the Dex Nav when you're catching them in the wild, or a hidden ability. Now, sometimes it takes a 15 chain to get your hidden ability. When I was breeding my Cacturne, it took me 147. It just what it is what it is. I can't control the dooflotchies and the algorithms and all that crap. It can be annoying, but it's also very rewarding when you finally do get that hidden ability. That is the absolute best way, in my opinion, to get the hidden ability, is to use the Dex Nav. However, there are other ways. It is possible that you can randomly catch your Pokemon with its hidden ability. Now, the odds are extremely low for that. It's never happened for me. Oopsies, hit the camera. Now, along with that, here, let me fix my daggone camera while it's shaking all over the place. Along with that, back in X and Y, we're going to go back and touch on X and Y for a minute. You had the Friend Safari, which was available to you after you completed the story mode. You would exchange friend codes with somebody. They would have a specific type Friend Safari. Once you had caught all three and you were both online at the same time, at least at one time, you didn't have to do it, but anyway, once you had both been online at the same time at least once and you'd caught all three Pokemon, you could in fact get the hidden ability from that Pokemon. It was great. I don't know what the odds of it were, but that was the best way to get the hidden ability in X and Y. In Oris, it is the Dex Nav. Now, if you will excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to do some computer magic right here, and you're not going to know, but I'm going to pause the video and wait for the egg to hatch, and then I'm going to come right back. So don't go anywhere. Look at that. Look at that. It's hidden